Hello my fellow viewers, and welcome to another episode of DrHawk's Game Clinic.
Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it!
No, you are not mistaken, and you heard correctly. Welcome to the first episode of DrHawk's Game Clinic. So, we'll get this out of the way first since it's obviously the biggest change. For those of my usual viewers who are used to Citizen FM, as well as my Patreon backers who are quite used to the show in general, rest assured, and don't fear, Citizen FM is still alive, still healthy, and still determined to giving you news related to Star Citizen, the community, and anything else in the verse. However, as mentioned before, I plan to expand. So with that comes some changes. DrHawk's Game Clinic is the new title that I plan to use and go forth with in regards to anything that I do relating to my show and my internet personas per se, when it comes to other games such as Destiny, or racing game, or flying, whatever I so choose. Star Citizen itself is going to become a little sub-show within the show. So very similar to how a news show would have different sections, sports, news, entertainment, etc. Star Citizen FM is going to get its own little special piece right in my show. With that being said, rest assured, and let us move to this week's news regarding Star Citizen. Now, as expected and predicted, patch 09 is not here. So unfortunately we still have to wait until we can enjoy the racing module of M50 and the 350R, and again, as I said, there's probably going to be a delay. Looking at the patch notes, or sorry, rather not the patch notes, but the post from CIG, they had their usual go no go meeting, and unfortunately they still have a few things that they have to work with. So we're not going to have patch 09 in the meantime, but for those of you who are just starting to get a little frustrated, all you got to do is just hold on a little bit longer. They did last week have a number of backers asking about specific features that they want to be shown in .09, and for those of you that don't know, I'm going to go over some of these and we'll talk about each one of them and what they could mean for Star Citizen. The first one, of course, being the most obvious, is the Murray Cup racing mode. So as shown at Gamescom, players can now race their pledge ships in a specially designed upper atmospheric scenario. This is a little different from what we heard in the past, where we'll be having rally races around the planets. I know some backers have brought up the point that could be a point of contention, being that we were promised interplanetary racing. But being that they're probably working on something like that, I'm quite fine with atmospheric racing. Plus, as you remember in the trailer, it is quite colorful and it looks fun to race around in. Now, this could be wording, but it does say players can now race their pledge ships, not specifically M50, 350R, or Mustang. It just says their pledge ships. So I actually hope that there is some form of freedom when it comes to allowing players to use the ships that they so choose. So be it if they actually want to race with a freelancer, maybe they can. People have raced with Hummers in races before. That doesn't mean it's any effective, but as long as somebody's having fun, who knows? As long as they're not, of course, blocking the finish line with their Hummer, after all, of a ship. Complementing the release of the patch will also have the introduction of finally private matches. So this will be great for me, as I'll be able to start flight school with DrHawk. I'll be able to help some of you who I've been asking about how you effectively fly in the game, where to improve, where your skills might be lacking, and even maybe teach me about something that I didn't see about. Private matches will be included along with the friend codes mentioned, as well as the leaderboards. Remember, the leaderboards are actually what we're holding up CIG and releasing it. I don't know what exactly it might have been the issue. I think it's synchronization with the servers. That's what they were having issue with. As well, updated ship performance. We've increased the speed and acceleration of every ship. With this, we've also reworked the afterburner mechanic to increase acceleration instead of top speed. I find this a little interesting, as personally an afterburner is what increases your speed. I don't want to just see it where you have a speed cap on every ship, say 300, and hitting your afterburner only just makes you hit that speed cap faster. It would be nice to get a little extra burst of speed, but at the same time this could be in compensation for the increased speed and acceleration that all the ships have now, because that was one of the main complaints, is that it felt really slow. Sometimes all you did is this weird ballet dance in Arena Commander. The HUD update has also overhauled the usability of the visor HUD interface, so you can now customize your ship's systems more easily in flight. So for people like me who use voice attack, this might not mean too much, but for those of you who haven't figured that out quite yet and are having trouble madly typing away at your numpad trying to divert power to every specific system, this could mean that they're adopting a system similar to Elite. Dangerous. I don't know if anyone watched me play that, but in Elite, all you had to do to divert power to shields, systems, or weapons was press left arrow, up arrow, or right arrow, respectively. So that was really well done. Maybe that's what they're trying to do for Arena Commander. As mentioned before, new hangars are going to be released as well, so if you remember that sexy ass trailer we had for some of the hangars, myself, I know I'm fairly excited for my deluxe hangar because I know it's going to look really nice. We have remastered all of Star Citizen's hangars with a new forward-looking room system and added the asteroid hangar. There's also a new pause menu. Our refactored pause menu is a large step forward aesthetically and will support new features like custom key bindings in the future. In the meantime, we've included selectable profiles for most of the common peripherals. And finally, the other big update is 6 degrees of freedom. With the improvements to the IFCS and flight physics, we are now ready to introduce 6 degrees of freedom movement for an entirely new way to fly. This is an interesting little statement, as right now, it's, for some people, Arena Commander and the Star Citizen in general, the ships kind of handle similar to boats in space, given that they follow the Newtonian physics of how a ship would handle in space. It can be clunky for some people who aren't used to that type of physics simulation, but given with the 6 degrees of freedom, it might bring people more in line with what they're used to, let's say in former games like Descent or Freelancer or other games that had that, while at the same time maintaining that sense of simulation that Chris Roberts is hoping for. They've also mentioned in that little update that you can actually overboost your IFCS, so if you're trying to perform a much tighter turn, or maybe you're trying to perform a maneuver that otherwise you would drift more than you would, you'll be able to overboost your directional thrusters at the expense of more fuel burn. This will allow you to temporarily increase the thrust output of your maneuvering thrusters to better arrest undesirable angular velocity, such as in a tight turn. So for Birdman, Fiendish Feather, myself, and the few of us who like to perform our crazy tricks and dives through nooks and crannies in Arena Commander, it'll be interesting to see how far we can push this system. As a whole, kind of a rehash of what I talked about last week, but for those of you who might have missed something, a good little tidbit. But until they release that patch, we're just going to have to sit here, rub our paws together, and twiddle our thumbs. A little redundant in terms of going over the news again, but for those of you who missed it, this should be a perfect little recap for you guys. Other than a few other things that have come out on the comlink, there was a monthly report, there's a few pieces of fan fiction, which you guys know I don't really go over. I could if you're interested. There's not a whole lot to go over Star Citizen this week, and I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I just wanted to finish going over some of that. In a whole, this is partly why I've decided to take the approach of turning SCFM into a different show, such as Game Clinic with DrHawk or DrHawk's Game Clinic. I'm still working with the name. For periods like this, when I have burnout with, let's say, SC or a racing game or whatever, I could just switch to the next topic. For those of you that know my console aspirations, I know a few of you are PC gamers, Destiny is coming out, and it'll be out here on Tuesday. I plan to do an unboxing for those who are curious. There will be eventually a review. That'll be my first video game review. I'm going to try to make it all nice and big and detailed, something like Angry Joe's. I'll even do the same for Star Citizen at one point, Elite, any games that you guys actually request. To my Patreon backers, I hope that you guys are fine with this approach. I want to try to also brand DrHawk, not just Star Citizen FM, but me myself. It'll actually help bring more exposure to the show and in turn give hopefully either both more revenue and exposure and grow us into something more than just Star Citizen. And then at the same time still maintain that Star Citizen FM presence that I love and started with. So we're not going to move away from our roots. We're think of it as going off in a direction into the bold new universe. I don't know, I'm trying to think about this on the fly. I'm so used to scripting for Star Citizen FM that when I suddenly have to think about something new, mind just goes. Other points I wanted to bring up, thank you to you guys for your feedback regarding the camera. I know right now, I can even see it in the preview, that it's dark. I don't have any lights or anything I can clamp to the monitor or stick on the wall. Bear with me until I can figure out a rig or something to make this look less dark. I got rid of the gloves and the coat. I don't know, I was trying to go for some sort of costume last time and you guys thought it was fairly ridiculous, so we won't go with that again. Hope you guys like the new approach. I hope to have more for you next week when patch 09 releases. For those of you that are interested in watching some Destiny content, I'll have a separate Destiny channel, but it'll also be incorporated, of course, with the show too. So tune in next time both for Star Citizen and Destiny, and hopefully we can kill two birds with one stone. If you guys are interested in subscribing, you can do so by clicking on the little hawk in the lower left-hand corner. Should be right there. Click the fuzzy little hawk to subscribe. You can also find me on your common social networking sites such as Facebook. Come join the Facebook army if you so dare. You can find me on Twitter as well at LGDrHawk, and tweet me, talk to me. I usually talk about a lot of game stuff there and share stuff too. You can also find me, of course, on Twitch TV at DrHawk, DOCOTOR Hawk. I stream occasionally, and as such, if you're interested in some of the hilarity that can happen, this is one of the clips that we had in one of the streams.
Something definitely seems off here.
Attention all personnel. Hello, yes, this is Dog.
What the hell did they want? Probably the usual shit about safety precautions. As if we didn't sign in the book. We did, so what good is that? One asshole got run over by a crane last week. No, he lost a knife and a cable broke. That was last month. I'm talking last week. Oh, now I understand why they're going on about safety like that. That's my line. Who's gonna work if everyone is out of commission? Well, yes. I wish they'd fix that damn radio or something. Makes me uneasy, you know? Hey, what the hell?
Gotta check out this light. There we go. Triple kill. How to pull a Batman.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
Okay, maybe I over-edited that just a tad too much, but it was fun. We had a lot of fun in the stream, and that actually gave me a good exercise in editing. As you may have noticed, I'm trying to work on some of my effects too to make things a little less boring than they are right now. So while it won't be over-edited like that in the future, or will it, you'll see more things like that in the future as I try to continue and expand my skill set with my editing software. Finally, as mentioned before, thank you to all my backers on Patreon. Again, you guys helped me buy this camera. So if you're interested in chipping in and helping out DrHawk, you can do so at patreon.com. All you gotta do is throw in $1 a month. You can even set a monthly cap if you're worried about Patreon overcharging you. Think of it like a little tip jar, and every little bit helps. So for those of you that do, thank you very much. And let's look forward to the next month. That being said, this has been the final episode of Star Citizen FM, and take that lightly, by the way, as we go forth with DrHawk's Game Clinic. So, thank you very much, guys, for helping me get this far. I look forward to DrHawk's Game Clinic and incorporating Star Citizen FM into it as a result. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys on the next episode of DrHawk's Game Clinic. You guys all take care, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.